Hi there, Rick DeBrule filling in once again for Steve Bunyante while he's convalescing and hoping to get better. Some of us have been helping him out with his YouTube channel, and today I'm up here at Desert Valley Auto Parts. And the reason I want to do a quick walk around is because oftentimes it seems like when I've posted a video on behalf of Steve and done one of his junkyard crawls, or at least an imitation of it, people will say, well, what's that car over there back behind you? Or what's that car over there? So just for the fun of it, I'm going to walk around one of the small areas that they have here at Desert Valley Auto Parts. I live in the Phoenix area, and this is one of the 3 lots they have. They have one down in Casa Grande. It's about an hour south of Phoenix. They have one in North Phoenix, and then I'm at this one in what they call Black Canyon City, and this is where they keep most of their muscle cars, the cars from the 60s and 70s. And this particular lot, this particular area, are cars that they're hoping to sell intact. These aren't parts cars. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've all had parts taken out of them. But if you're just looking for a bracket, they're probably going to send you a different part. Their goal is to sell these cars intact. Either because the cars are complete enough, the body's complete enough, there's something significant about it, it's got a good VIN, hard to say, but these are cars that the hope is to ship them out in one piece. So just for fun, I'm going to take a quick walk around, show you some of the cars that you could buy at this particular location. And I'm going to start with something really cool. All right, I'm going to swap the camera around. Check this out. That is an E-body Chrysler product. That's right, it's a CUDA. I love those hood scoops. There you see the CUDA badging right there. Plenty of parts inside. And this particular one, well, let's just call it a shell, but boy, it looks pretty darn good. When I look inside, you know, it looks very relatively rust-free. I think this one has a lot of potential. If someone was in the market for just an E-body shell, they were going to start something, that'd be pretty cool. Plymouth next to it, there's a California GTCS, California Special Ford Mustang from 1968. We previewed that in one of our pieces. Here is a Cadillac Hearse from 1974. A lot of people love those things, so this is one example of it. If you wanted to, I don't know, turn it into a faux Ghostbusters. Yep, T-tops were alive and well back in the mid-70s. Ford Galaxy. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, Dodge Polara. Oh, this is cool. You know, right now, the station wagon market is really hot. And this is a great example. This is from 1966. It's Chevy Impala. This is, I think, one of the best styled station wagons that you can possibly buy. They came out with this body style in 1965, ran it into the 70s, but the late 60s, the mid 60s, late 60s, really the best way. Remember, it had that seat in the back that you could turn around when you were out with the kids, or I remember I had the neighbor who had one of these. We would sit in the back and drive around and look out the back. Let's see what else we've got. We got a Cadillac over there, Oldsmobile. Okay, so you're either a Cadillac guy back then, or you were a Lincoln guy. In this case, it's a Lincoln Continental Mark IV. And you see the badging. This one came out of Las Vegas, so there's hope that this one may not have massive amounts of rust in it. Of course, the opera window, which was the ultimate in styling. And then when you walk around, look how long this hood is. This thing just goes on forever and ever. A massive car, especially when you consider it's just a 2-door. That's all it is. But if you say you're into, let's call it performance from 1978, or something that looks like it has performance, how about this Trans Am from 1978? What's cool about this is not just a Trans Am, this has the shaker hood scoop. A little 6.6 liter engine underneath there, mostly intact. I see, more than a few share of issues, but having said that, the hood itself looks like it's in pretty much one piece. Let's just walk around. That, I believe, is a 1965 Galaxy, 1980 Firebird, 1966 Mustang. Looks like someone's tried to bring it back. Looks like it also has plenty of body work that's been done to the front, and I can't say it's been done properly. This particular car we featured in one of our videos where we were helping Steve out as a junkyard crawl, a 1971 Ford Torino GT convertible, one of only 1,600 made. Camaro time. How about the Ford Pinto? I got 2 examples of it as I'm looking around. This is just your standard Ford Pinto station wagon. Cool in its day, this particular one, I think from 1978. But if you didn't like this style, how about the sedan delivery style? Where you actually had a piece that was put up in place of the windows. So no windows, no windows, and of course a porthole, because back then, you had to have a porthole because that was cool. All the vans had portholes back then. Remember the Chevy Vega? I always loved the styling of the Chevy Vega. There's actually a location in this junkyard further away where they've got a ton of old Vegas sitting around. I love the styling of it back in its day. You know, it came out in 1970, and unfortunately, its engine really let it down. It was that cast aluminum 4-cylinder, which just was, it was ultimately an albatross. Okay, so you say you're into Mustang 2s? You're the guy. You're the one into Mustang 2s. There's one right there for you. Believe it or not, very, very popular in its day. From the early 70s, how about a Charger? Look at that long. I love this styling that goes right down the side. Body relatively intact, except for the left front fender that's missing in a big way. Oh, let me just walk out the back and I can show you some of the other things that are back here. So this is well, as you look down here, you can see this is the Lincoln graveyard. So these are the cars that are here because they are just parts cars. You're just going to come up, you're going to find the part you're looking for, an air conditioner bracket, or you know, a piece of trim, a bezel or something. That's what you're going to get here. And it's interesting enough that they have the Lincolns there, because when you come over here, this is where they have the Cadillacs. Appropriately enough, because they would have been next door to each other in the same neighborhood. But no shortage of Cadillacs. And yeah, you look down at that one. I mean, that one is slowly but surely just coming apart at the seams, where everything is coming out of these darn things. So once again, this is just one of the areas here at the Black Canyon City location for Desert Valley Auto Parts. Just a fun place. And like I say, this place goes on for acres and acres and acres. I will tell you, you have to make an appointment to come here. You have to call them in advance and tell them what you're looking for. And because they don't actually just have everybody. Trying to find it is a grand adventure in itself. But once you find it, boy, there's no shortage of cool things that you can find and you can see. And like Steve, there's nothing more fun than crawling through a junkyard and looking at cool cars.